We'll be right back after these messages.
Alrighty, folks. I'm going to scare the absolute dog piss out of you. Major media and even pundits and even social media is all abuzz about Apophis, which is supposed to show up on April the 13th. I wonder if that's a Friday the 13th. April the 13th, 2029. 2029. 2029. Okay? Now, Apophis is not a joke. Apophis is hardcore. Apophis is a real, legitimate planet killer. If Apophis hits the Earth, we are gone. We aren't just damaged. There isn't just going to be a big crater on the side of the Earth. No, the Earth will be gone because Apophis is a real planet killer. See, when NASA was first gauging the size of Apophis, they went by the light that was being refracted on its surface. Oops. Yeah, that totally negates all the dark areas on Apophis, right? And so Apophis ended up being at least 2 to 3 times bigger than what they originally intended. So yes, Apophis is a legitimate planet killer. It is not a joke. And some of the articles I'm reading, particularly from social media, but even some mainstream media, it sounds like there's some worry in their voice when they're sitting there talking. And there should be, because Apophis is not a joke. Apophis is the real deal. It is a real planet killer. Now you say, well, Vaughn, is this the destroyer you've been talking about? And you know what? That's a damn good question. It is. And the answer is, I don't know, but it sure could be, couldn't it? I mean, it definitely has the ability to take care of the infestation on planet Earth now, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. And Apophis is big enough and devastating enough that it ain't going to matter how deep into the Earth you're hiding. Yeah, it ain't going to matter. Trust me, it ain't going to matter. Because if Apophis is as big as I think it is, when it hits the Earth, ain't going to be nothing left, bro. Ain't going to be nothing left. So, for those of you that believe in the ball, you better hope that that is not the case. Because our only way to survive at this point, if Apophis is real, is if we're on an infinite flat plane that stretches in all directions. Because then, obviously, Apophis will just make a big old crater, and that'll be the end of that. But keep in mind, y'all, that if we are on a spinning ball rocket, and Apophis hits, it's game over, man. It's game over. All right. So, but I've noticed now they're all starting to talk about Apophis. So let's keep our ears and eyes open, people. Keep your ears and eyes open, because if the pundits and the mainstream media and the social media are starting to talk about Apophis again, better pay attention. Better start paying attention. Because there may be something coming up, right? Never know. There may be something coming up, going down, whatever, sideways. Take that elevator, man. But no, I've been out and about perusing the internet, and I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The heck's everybody talking about Apophis? And they'll even tell you themselves it ain't supposed to get here till 2029. Well, shit, that's years away. So why is everybody all of a sudden talking about Apophis? Well, that's a good question. That is a real good question now, isn't it? Yeah. Inquiring minds want to know, y'all. But after about the second or third one, I said, well, I better get on here and say something. Because there's a little bit of, excuse me, there's a little bit of trepidation in these articles that I'm reading, because they know that I know that hopefully you know that Apophis is not a joke. It is not a game. And the destroyer, we know, comes every 37,000 years, and humanity is weighed in the balance, and if we're a bunch of retards, and they just start all over again. You know. We're going to have a mud flood, y'all. You might want to Google mud flood if you get some spare time. It's a fascinating read. Trust me on that one. Just Google mud flood whenever you get some free time, because that's a very, very, very interesting read. Haven't you ever wondered why a lot of buildings, the ground comes up to about halfway up the windows, and it ain't done that way intentional? It's like the building is half sunk into the ground. That's because it is. So, now how'd that come to be? Well, I suspect that it had something to do with the destroyer. Every 37,000 years, y'all, comes and weighs humanity in the balance. And if we're a bunch of retards, so keep your head on a swivel. But, you know, with everybody starting to talk about Apophis again, that's got my radar up a little bit. So, you know, just keep on keeping on and watching. You know, watch, listen, look, see what's going on. Watch how the animals are acting. Okay? Watch how the animals are acting. Watch how the sky looks. If that sky don't look familiar to you, get inside. Get inside. If that sky don't look right to you, you get inside and stay there. If you can, you know. I mean, if you're at work, I guess you're screwed, blued, and tattooed. But, you know, if that sky don't look right, stay inside. Because it's untelling what's liable to happen, folks. We are literally in a situation where I cannot tell you what is going to go on or what to do. Because literally anything could happen. Literally anything. So be prepared for anything, right? Yeah. All right, folks, I'm going to get out of here and went, but I thought I'd give you an update because I started seeing some Apophis videos popping up and news articles. It's like, what's going on here? So when I started seeing a lot of the same thing, you know, it's like, I better go report on this shit, just on the off chance, you know. I'm not saying anything. I'm just reporting, right? That's all I'm doing for now. We'll worry about the rest later, okay? But now, you say, well, Vaughn, didn't the gods and goddesses of freedom religion say there won't be a World War III and there won't be the destruction of the earth? They did. They did. However, that doesn't mean that we ain't going to go through some rough spots, right? We can still go through some rough spots and not have a very good day. So let's be ever mindful. How about them words? Let's use those words. Let's be ever mindful of what is going on. Okay? One of the big things that gets veterans killed when they come back home or when they get out of service is that they lose their sharpness. They don't look around no more. Oh, well, I'm safe. I'm in America. I can relax. I can let my guard down. No, actually, that's when you should have your guard up the most, I think. But I mean, and according to a lot of statistics, that's usually what gets you. You know, you let your guard down. See, you had your guard going, and you was alert and shit, and prepared, and on your feet, and got your head on a swivel. Then you come back to civilian life, or back to the States, or what have you. And it's like, oh well, I can relax now because I'm civilian now, and I'm no longer in the military, and so I can relax. I can take a chill pill. Well, that's usually when they get you. It's usually when they get you. So I'm just throwing that out there. Let's keep our focus, okay? Let's keep our focus, people. All right, because. When you got social media and mainstream media and pundits all starting to talk about Apophis again, why? What's going on? What do they know that you and I do not yet know? Interesting. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. I bloviated enough. You all have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye.